What is up, guys? This is Pinzo back with another video today, and what I have for you guys is some more Predecessor. Today's video is going to be a tiny bit different, just in the format, because this is a game that I recorded from one of the sort of competitive Discord servers for Predecessor that I'm in, and I didn't record it live because I do like to give commentary. I don't want to just have like this video where we're in comms, we're focused, where we're like we're playing to win, that kind of stuff, and then upload that because there's no, to me, I don't know, I like to interact with my audience. So I am going to play it. I recorded it. Again, this is from one of the competitive servers. I'm probably the worst player in this lobby. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But I'm playing Narbash support. We played no mirrors, so you can't play the same characters on both teams. And I thought it was a really good game. It kind of showcases, in my opinion, how strong Narbash is right now. I think Narbash is like top 2 supports. I think you're basically going to play Narbash every game that you can get him right now. He's very, very strong, and we're going to get into why exactly. So I'm going to have this muted for the most part. There are a couple parts where I'm going to turn this on so you guys can listen to some of the comms, because there are some really good calls in here that I think it's helpful for you guys, especially if you're trying to play with your friends, to hear what kind of competitive comms looks like. Again, this is from 5 people who aren't on a team. Team comms are going to start sounding different once you guys get everyone used to each other, but this was a pretty good game. So we're going to jump into this. Before we do, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, if you like this kind of video, let me know. I haven't done something like this, so I'm really curious what you guys think, but we're going to jump right into this. So this is, again, I'm playing Narbash supports. Build is pretty standard. You're going to go Guardian Crest, I'm going to say at least 90% of the time. I especially on Narbash, I'm not sure when exactly you would want the other crest, the other support crest, which is the sort of mage support crest, the one with like Silentium and Malediction and Tranquility. That one isn't very good on Narbash. You are pretty much going to go Leaf Song, which is sprint, or Sanctification, which is shell. Those are the only 2 things you're going to go pretty much every game. Even the third one, Rift Walkers, isn't very good on Narbash. So this early laning phase, I knew that I was assuming that guys in the jungle, if you guys are ever playing support or ADC for that matter, and you don't get a ward down early and you walk into lane and the enemy support, especially on Richter, is not sitting in the lane, there's a very high chance he's sitting right behind that fog wall. So just keep that in mind. This early game was pretty standard. Revenant has a lot of early pressure, but I think he matches up fairly poorly into Drongo specifically because of the silence, and also into Narbash, because Narbash has crazy healing early game. If you guys don't know, they just mega buffed Narbash healing. So it costs more mana at rank 1, it costs less mana at rank 5, but it heals more at ranks 1, 2, and 3 specifically, and then it ends at the same healing for less mana at rank 5, if that makes sense. So Narbash got pretty mega buffed. I am playing on East for this game, so you will see my ping fluctuates from about 100 to 120. Right here, I don't know what Richter's plan was. I'm really unsure. I'm gonna even rewind this just to the start of this engagement. My plan is to thunk him every time he hooks. This is what I was talking about in my tier list. Richter stands still to do a lot of things. So stand still to hook. He hit a minion. I get a thunk. Our plan was to go on him. My ADC, the call for my ADC right there was when he hooks, thunk, and we go in. We were level 2 and they weren't. Revenant messes up that blink, which that feels bad. He's gonna die for it. That's a nice early. I get both of those kills, by the way. I probably shouldn't have gotten both of those kills. I probably should have stopped autoing. The Richter going in was a little bit of a sus call, but again, our plan was to W key those guys. So you can see I have about 1,000 gold off of those 2 kills. I'm going to back instantly. I'm going to explain my item selection a little bit right here, because Crystal Tier is very, very strong. It gives you more healing, it gives you more shielding, it gives you a lot of mana regen, which is the main thing on Narbash. But the enemy team comp has a Chimera and a Rampage and a Countess. I need anti-healing ASAP. I need to spawn in the game with anti-healing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to build this. This is like Wreath. I don't know what this exact item name this tier 2 is. It's something Wreath, which gives me some power but a decent amount of mana regen. And I'm going to go straight into Tainted Totem. This is going to allow me to get more anti-healing. Tainted Totem has anti-heal on it. It has a slow aura. increased healing, obviously really good on Narbash, and it also has mana regen. So I'm not going to really lose mana regen for going for this early Tainted Totem. But what I am going to do is with those early kills, I'm going to have my Tainted Totem on about 10 minutes before I should in a normal game. If I don't have 2 kills, if I build my full crystal tier first, I'm going to have my Tainted Totem very, very early this game. So here, I'm just trying to run around. They're holding the wave in duo lane. They held that wave really far back. So if I'm standing there, nothing really changes. I'm just kind of rotating around. And you'll see this is going to come back to bite me a little bit in about 4 minutes. But right now, I like to get some of these early, support rotations, put some pressure into mid. As soon as I walk over here once, they have to be scared of me walking over again. They know that I have shown that I'm willing to walk over. They have to be worried about that. Maybe it changes their ward placement. Maybe they ward on duo side instead of, in this case, we have our red buff on solo lane side. So maybe they ward, duo side instead of red buff side, and it opens up something for the jungler. Moving around the map on support is really big, and it's something that a lot of people kind of miss. A lot of supports kind of AFK and duo lane for the first 20 minutes, and you really need to kind of impact the map as much as you can. Here, we're just throwing down wards. This is fairly standard early game stuff. Again, this is where I took that early back as well. So my Drongo he got a solo wave when I backed after a double kill, and he got a solo wave when I left to go gank mid, or to go, I didn't really gank mid, but I kind of pressured mid, right? I was there. So my Drongo right now is ahead on XP. You can see he's level 4 while I'm 3, and I'm behind. So this is going to come back about the time we get to sort of fighting over this first Fangtooth. My Drongo gets his blink forced here. I know that their plan is to rock hook, so I was a little slow on the thunk. I should have tried to thunk him before he could hook. I got the thunk after he got the hook. I should have done it earlier. They were pretty quick on it. That's my bad. Drongo's full health. Got his blink forced. Not the worst thing that can happen. We know Rampage is kind of hanging around here, so we're not trying to get too aggressive. Not trying to step up too far. Again, thunking a Richter when he hooks is the easiest thing. He has to stand still to do it. Really, really easy. It's really easy counterplay. You don't need to do it every single time, but he's going to think you're going to, so he has to play around it, right? You can see I am going to put 3 points into my heal, and then I'm going to max my thunk. Thunk has a pretty long cooldown. Getting some more points into it lowers it. Pretty necessary, I think, in my opinion. That's a pretty strong one. But getting those 3 points into the heal is incredibly powerful early game. I think at this point, because of the change to his heal, you could potentially max his heal all the way to 5 points first. And you'd be fine. So right here, we're just trying to 50-50 this gold buff. We got it. My Drongo got the gold buff right there. So that's a nice little kind of, they tried to get a gold buff to get back in. We stop them from getting it. We don't want to fight them really right there. We probably could because we have a Narbash. Narbash's early game fight potential is very high because of the healing. But 50-50ing that's all we really need to do. The rest of the team is pretty much winning at this point. My solo laner just died. He just got ganked. But they had killed the Countess in mid as well earlier. So we're in a pretty good position for this game. What we need to start doing is looking at Fangtooth, right? It's about 7 minutes. Junglers are going to start getting upgraded hunts online here about the next 3 minutes. So once that happens, we look really hard into Fangtooth. And with a Narbash, we can pull Fangtooth and bait that fight really, really well. Because we're able to kind of pull it and hit it, and we can just heal through it. We try to kill Countess here. She's really slippery early game. And Narbash, if we had a mid laner there with us to do damage, we would have killed her. But Narbash thunk, pretty long cooldown. I'm not going to be able to get 2 in a fight. We just back out. There's nothing wrong with leaving when you don't get a kill. I probably could have chased and tried to land that second thunk, but I'm probably gonna die for it. At that point, it's just not worth it. Just leave. So here, this is a pretty important comm that I want you guys to listen to.
Are you 6?
No, I'm 2 waves off. I don't know how exactly how well you can hear that, but the comm was, my Drongo asks me, "Are you 6?" And I said, "No, I'm 2 waves off," because I am. From about level 5 to 6 is a little over 2 waves of minions if you're splitting with your carry. Uh, and he's like, "Wow," is I believe what he said. That's bad. That's the downside to rotating early, is that it's 8 minutes in the 8.5 minutes in the game, and I don't have an ultimate. I'm close. Again, I'm about a wave and a kill, or a wave and a fangtooth, or 2 waves off. But me not having my ultimate here could be really bad in this fight. You know, in this next fight, it's just something we have to think about. We don't have Narbash ultimate, even against the enemy team, which has a lot of ultimate cancel in it, right? We're talking Richter, Rampage, Kai, even Revenant, Countess. Literally the entire enemy team can interrupt my ultimate. Okay, so I make a bad play here. If you look at my mini map right now, at this point, my crunch was calling us to group up. I wanted to check this because I have my Fae and my Crunch coming in behind me. We know their solo laner's not here, but the other 4 are in this pit. So I need what I should do is wait for my Fae and my Crunch. And then we should all go in at the same time. Even if they get the Fangtooth, we take the fight after. That should be the call. Instead, me and my Drongo go check this. And you guys will see it doesn't go very well. So I check it. I see it's 3k. I know that they can't kill it. I get my blink off here before the Richter ult. My Drongo doesn't. So my Drongo lives a lot longer than he should right here. But this is where they just used Richter hook, Richter ult, Rampage rock, or Richter silence. This is where having an ultimate would have been huge, right? You can see I'm a little over one split wave off of my ultimate. If I have my ult here, we probably win this fight. My Drongo's still gonna die to this Revenant ult every time. But my team coming in behind these guys, we probably easily win this fight if I have Crash Bang Boom available. In comes the Countess, and they kind of blow up our Fae before she can do anything. She gets her ult off before she dies, but me and Crunch are left on the back foot, just basically running away. There's not much we're going to be able to do there. It was a really bad engagement by me. My Drongo followed me, so it's not really his fault. That was kind of my call to peek that. But if we listen to our Crunch, you could see how much damage our Fae was doing. If we listen to our Crunch and go in at, like, as a team, even if they get the Fangtooth anyway, you know, even if we don't even contest it, right, we just go in to pick them off afterwards. That play is much better, to group up as 4 or 5 and go in all at the same time. So by the way, they peeled off the Fangtooth. They did not do it the first time. They just peeled off and killed all of us. Now they took too long to do it. We catch them kind of recalling. We're not going to get any kills here, but we do get a Rampage blink. So that's always nice. And here, corner peeking Richter. You know he wants to hook you. Walking in, jiggle peeking, you know he knows where I am. So I'm just kind of jiggle peeking that corner, trying to get him to throw out a hook. He holds it. It doesn't matter. I'm not losing anything. He's not losing anything. His ult shouldn't be up yet. So even if he hooks me, I'm probably going to just live. I still don't have my ultimate, by the way. I was kind of puzzled by this in-game. I didn't feel like I missed that much XP, but it's 11 minutes and I don't have an ult. This is a really good fight for us. Our gold buff is a really good time to gank duo lane. So our Crunch gets in here. They contest this. My Drongo's going to end up falling here. He gets like full comboed by this Rev on the backside of this, but we pick up a double kill out of this anyway. So it's all good. My Drongo is already a tiny bit behind. Him dying there, not the biggest deal. Crunch gets 2 kills. I get 2 assists. I'm pretty big this game, all things considered. I'm about to be able to, I'm probably 300 gold short of backing for my Tainted Totem at this point. I'm pretty strong. We're winning this duo lane pretty well. And this is one thing that Narbash does incredibly well, is I think if you don't play Drongo into Narbash, I think Drongo is the only one that can do this into Narbash, you just lose lane. I don't think you can win lane against a Narbash unless you have a Drongo. Drongo, I think, does, for some reason, I just feel like he does better. Maybe he just uses tainted rounds better than the other carries, something like that. I really am puzzled by why Drongo's good into Narbash. But if you don't have a Drongo, you just lose lane. Well, maybe the correction is you can't win lane, right? Narbash isn't going to lose a lane. He has too much healing. He's just going to, every time you poke someone down, he's going to full heal them. We catch this guy on our back camps. We get his ult and his thorns. That's good enough for me. We're just going to walk away from this. We see the Kai, we have lost our tier 1 in solo lane. So there's no tower here that he's worried about. But I'm trying to decide where he's going. I'm trying to read where the Kai's trying to get out. He ends up going forward. He has mini prime right here, so he's actually pretty scary. But we're able to kill him. He gets his Phoenix off. My Crunch is going to dash him. I just ult. Any amount of CC you're going to throw into him. He's mysteriously tanky. Keep in mind, mini prime gives defense. Normal prime doesn't. Mini prime gives actual protections. That guy's really hard to kill, even coming out of that Phoenix. So I'm just going to pop my ult for it, slow him down, get a knock-up. It's worth it, I promise. Especially a support ultimate, it's worth it almost every time. So as of right now, if we pause this game, we're 13 minutes in. The state of the map is almost dead even. We are missing one tower in solo lane, but their tower is pretty low. We're down one fangtooth, and we're up one kill. We don't have a lot of vision on the map at this moment, but I don't have my support crest yet, so our vision's a little bit lacking. Once I get my support crest, we'll be good. But the game's pretty even. My Drongo went down while we killed the Kai, which kind of stinks. But this match at this point, 13-minute mark, this is pretty even. I'm 2-0-4, by the way, so like I don't I'm just a really good Narbash player, I guess. I have Tainted Totem online, and that's my call right now is, I believe I think I say it like right now. I'm like, I have Tainted Totem. We can fight. You know, Rampage, Kai, Countess aren't healing their whole health bar with one ability. We can fight right now. And that's sort of the call, is that we're looking at this next Fangtooth or this Mini Prime, whichever one we can sort of group on first, because Mini Prime's down. We're looking at the next Fangtooth, which should be, you know, if we dance too much, that's when Mini Prime's going to come into the picture. And this is just, we're just kind of hanging out. That guy he poses no threat to me. I can't do anything to him. I can heal myself up in about 4 seconds flat. He's not. I'm in no danger at this point in the match. I have a decent amount of protections from Tainted Totem. Right here, we're looking at Fangtooth. When Fangtooth gets to about the 3/4 mark on its circle, the 3/4 mark, that's like, I'm going to say that's about a minute until it spawns. I'm honest. I think it's a 5-minute respawn, but roughly a minute on that quarter circle. So right now we're calling, you know, a minute till Fangtooth. We want to back. We want to spend our gold. Right now I'm looking at getting my support crest. You don't want to fight when you have your crest upgrade available. It's a big power spike for any character in the game. Doesn't matter what crest you're building. Crest is a power spike. Here I'm going to go back into finishing my crystal tier, which is going to give me all the mana regen that I need. I'm pretty tanky with Tainted Totem already, so I'm just going to go back and finish that. I'm trying to march out here to get to my Fae, is what I'm looking at. I want to be able to heal her up. If she wants to stick around, I want to be able to heal her up. So Fangtooth, again, coming up here in about 20 seconds. What you don't want to do is get picked. So we're telling our Drongo play back. He's just sitting in the jungle being a ward. We're just telling him play back, sit back, sit back. This is a really big play right here. So our call here is kill this Kai. That guy had really bad pathing. You can't lollygag through mid like this guy is, especially, so he doesn't know where my team is. My Crunch is on the way. My Grux is behind this fog wall. So my Grux is watching this guy, and my Drongo is going to loop around Fang Pit and walk into us. This guy pathing where he does instead of dropping into the river is really bad. Don't do this. And this leads to my Grux hitting a nice pull, and this is how you Narbash ult. Okay. So we wombo combo them here, but this is how you use Narbash ultimate. A lot of people right now think True Silver is the only way to go on Narbash. I strongly disagree. You guys, if you guys are needing True Silver Bracelet, you're trying to ult 5 people in the middle of a fight. I think True Silver Bracelet's a bad item. It gives you no stats. Even though it's cheap, it just doesn't give enough stats, I think. So we get a 2-man Grux pull into a 2-man Fae ultimate, or maybe this is a 3-man, I'm not sure. And I'm playing this corner. So I'm ulting around this corner. I could walk back. If Richter looks like he's going to get out and start lining up an ultimate, I'm going to duck around the corner. If the Chimera breaks out and he's going to look to ult me, I'm going to hop around the corner. You know, you can kind of ult around corners, around walls like that, using that cover to your advantage. And what it does is it allows you to kind of build up your ultimates and then get the knock up from safety, right? You're not too worried about that. If someone has like a Bellica and they stun you through the wall, that kind of stinks. Our calls here get muddled. I get super indecisive here, which is bad. You don't want to do this. Our calls were I can solo Fangtooth. You guys get left tower. And then the call was I'll go left and then get Fangtooth, and then the call was uh just get Fangtooth. So we got a little muddled there, and we're gonna do it again. So I try to save my Grux, and I shouldn't. I should have just backed out right here. Instead, I'm trying to heal him. I'm trying to give him speed. I'm trying to keep him going, and I'm gonna pay for it. So I get my flash out. I get Kai ulted, and then at this point, my call is Kai. I'm leaving Drongo. You're good. Drongo goes to tower. I go away from tower. I'm low. If they want to kill me, they're not going to be able to follow my Drongo. That's one of those where it's just like, as a support, be willing to sacrifice yourself. They tower dive him anyway. They actually do kill him. But they get a lot of pressure off of this. We got the Fangtooth, but we made a really bad call to stick around afterward. We should have just run away. We had our Grux back in the pit, which was bad. I tried to help him, which was bad. We should have just left. If you just run away to your tier 2 towers right there and then back in safety, you're good. Lazy backing led to them getting 3 free kills and almost a tier 2 and left. So again, as we look at it, 17 minutes, second Fangtooth went down. It's one Fang to one Fang, 10 kills to 9 kills. This game is very even. I am 2-1-7. I've affected 9 of our 10 kills. That means we're fighting a lot as a team, right? Narbash, you're not really playing Narbash for picks. We're fighting a lot as a team, which is good. You'll see me start blanketing the map here with wards. My team is calling to go see if we can pick this Kai. I saw him put a ward down, so I'm going to try and not walk over it. He warded that fog wall right in front of me, and so I'm going to try and go in from behind him. I put a ward down just in case anyone rotates, and he phoenixes. We're going to be able to kill this guy. A knock-up, a stun. He's dead. Now we're looking at Mini Prime. We can see the Countess in mid. Mini Prime's a pretty free call here. We just killed their solo laner. Now we see the duo lane pop up in duo. This is super free. Their jungler's the only one who can contest, and we saw him. You just saw him pop up on his 3 camp behind us in blue. But he's going to show up here pretty soon onto this wave in right lane, which means he's not trying to contest this. The Rampage is the only one who can do anything about that, even if he wanted to. I'm going to make a bad call here and say we can kill this guy. I thought they were going to get this tower. This tower, we lose minions in this apparently, which I find out right now. I thought we had creeps in that tower. So I kind of blew the fact that I was there. You want to keep as many people as surprised as possible. At this point, their duo lane's hard pushing left. I'm just going to back and help defend. These guys have Mini Prime. They're going to be able to get a tier 1 for free. They can't stop that. I'm just going to jump out of base. Our Drongo got picked. They're 3 strong and left. I can't defend this. So this is my Fae just backed. They're going to miss a lot of stuff on me, but it doesn't matter. If I try to ult this wave, I'm going to eat a Richter ult or a Richter silence. Otherwise, that would be the call, is to Narbash ult the wave. Unfortunately, they get a pretty good split push. Grab an inhib. That's pretty bad for 19 minutes in an even game. And then we start losing the split push in right lane. Our Grux goes down. Our Crunch actually lives here, which is kind of wild to me. I don't know exactly what he was doing to get out, but he manages to stall long enough to get back to base. He keeps his Mini Prime. Pretty big. So this is kind of the point in the game where we need someone in right lane. We have 2 towers up, but they still have 5 towers up. So we're definitely behind on map pressure, but our team fight gets really good as the game goes on. So they sort of have a pick comp. When you see Rampage and Richter on the same team, it's sort of what you'd call a pick comp. So their goal is to rock somebody and then hook somebody and then kill that person and do that 5 times in a row, right? That's sort of their goal, is to kill one person at a time. Our goal, on the other hand, we have a pretty bad team comp, by the way. Outside of Narbash, Drongo, that's a pretty good duo lane, but Drongo's team fight's not amazing. And then Faye, obviously, with a pretty strong team fight. Outside of that, our team fight's not great. Grux, more of a boxing kind of dude, wants to find 1v1, same with Crunch. So we're sort of playing into their strategy, except with a weaker version of it. But with Narbash Ultimate, with Faye Ultimate, we do end up having this potential to win team fights off of this ult combo, which is what we end up doing a couple times late game. which it just, again, if you guys get hit by an entire Narbash ultimate, you're just going to die. Here, we're getting ready to fight in mid. We catch the Kai really early. We know he doesn't have Phoenix. He already popped it before. I get Riftwalker ulted there when I try to ult. Again, that's what happens on Narbash if you ult in the middle of a team fight. I end up killing the Richter. My Faye gets her crest off. That was 2 for 1. And now we're calling Fangtooth. Run to Fangtooth. Sprint to Fangtooth. We have Narbash heals. You can see my Grux is low. Doesn't matter. My Faye's full health again. I'm healing. I have 23 mana regen, which means I'm regenning more mana than my heal takes. If you're over 20, then you can heal infinitely. The next call here is watch Prime. Are they going Prime? I can see the Revenant in mid. Countess shows up. The answer is no. They're not on Prime. So we just hard disengage. We all leave. And we're pretty free to get out of there on our own terms. We get a Fangtooth. We win that fight in mid. We get out. Get some free farm. Again, the one almost plus side of having this inhib down is that we have farm walking into our base. They cannot hold these waves. It just doesn't work. You can't really hold a wave when you have super minions, because your super minions are going to push it down. So we end up getting some free farm here. Our Faye's you're gonna see it. Our Faye's gonna end up a little bit ahead here, even in a matchup where she was kind of down early. They pulled this Prime. Our call here was, this was coming from our jungler. He was like, they have a Kai and a Rampage. They can do a 20-minute Prime. That was the call. So we don't have wards on it. We see them deward it, and then you're going to see their team messes up this fight really bad. This is when we start winning this game. But the call was check Prime. They can do it at 20. Me and Faye are together. The rest of our team is kind of in. So you're going to see my Grux is just going to get sacrificed here. He was a little too deep. No squad available. He's going to get sacrificed. The enemy team, the call they make that goes bad here is do Prime. They don't have a Narbash. So this is, I'm going to pause this and explain this for just half a second, because this is another reason why Narbash is really good. Prime only anti-heals the person it's hitting. It's not if you hit Prime, you get anti-healed. It's if Prime damages you get anti-healed by it. It's like 50%. It affects regen. Really good. If you have a Narbash, you can pull this Prime, and at this point in the game, my healing is doing pretty much as damage as Prime can do. So if, let's say my team was doing this, we would be full health in the pit. You're going to see that we're going to just kind of footsie game these guys for about the next 20 seconds. And they're going to start taking a lot of damage. You see the Revenant in the back, the half health level 12 Revenant in the back is going to start taking a lot of damage. I'm just health checking this. I'm looking in, I'm calling 7k. You see the crunch go in, the rest of the team goes in. Miss a thunk, I'm going to wait for the Richter ultimate here. There it goes. Now I'm free to ult. You're going to see me go straight into it. I'm hitting 2 people, hitting 3 people, getting in the knockup. My Drongo here is dying. So I don't notice this right away. My Drongo's half health fighting the Chimera over here. What I should do right now is go save my Drongo. I didn't see this. I was not quite aware of this. He was calling it, but I didn't realize he was actually going to die to this guy. So I should be helping him. I still have my Sanctification available. I should be on my Drongo right now. Instead, I'm going to try and body block this Richter. We end up getting that kill. I do get the Sanctification on my Drongo, but it's just not enough. We almost save him. He dies on the last auto that Kai gets. We call this Prime. Our mid laner, our Faye, was calling this. He said, do Prime. We can do it. We can do it. And I'm like, I don't think so. And about right now, he says, wait, no, we can't do it. I'm out of mana. And we just end up peeling back again. With a Narbash, you're not going to die to something like that. But we just end up peeling back. It's all good. We probably could have gotten that mid tier 2 if me and Faye grouped on it. That fight was pretty sloppy from both sides, but they made that call was bad by them. They didn't have the DPS to take down Prime fast enough, and they didn't have Narbash heals to make up for that DPS loss. So we're able to just kind of footsie there. Again, I'm sitting there and I'm just checking health. I'm stepping forward. I'm checking the HP. I'm calling it out. I step forward, 10k, 10k, 10k. Step back a little bit. Wait, I know their DPS, Step forward again, 7k, 7k, 7k. Step back. They did 3k damage in 7 seconds, 8 seconds. That's fine. Step forward again, 6k, 6k. Crunch blinks in, I'm in. That's kind of the go button. On Narbash, your initiation's not awesome. But as soon as you have someone else on your team, in this case, we have a Grux and a Crunch who can initiate for me. Both of them are building fairly tanky, and they're able to go in first, and I'm able to follow up. Again, I was waiting Richter ult out before my ult there. It makes these fights really easy if you're able to go in second on Narbash. Pick him with tanky team comps. It's kind of like Richter where he can't be your only tank. You have to have someone else available to be able to take the aggro first. You can take it a little later in the fight, but you can't be the first one in. Here, we're just trying to siege down this tier 2. So our Faye is alone in right, and we know this. So she's against a Kai. You're going to see that I believe the Countess shows up there as well. And she's going to actually end up falling to their team while we end up... I get my blink forced here. Probably shouldn't have been under tower. I get hooked back in, which was a really good hook. I still have my shield. I'm very safe. This is the other power of Narbash. I have me at 20% and my Crunch at half health. My Crunch is going to back. My Faye just got 3v1'd, but I'm about to be full health. So we're going to be able to walk into this inhib if we want. I'm getting ready to back to go help my Crunch, and then he starts winning this fight. I get hit by minions, but my Crunch starts winning this fight, so I'm pushing. We know Rampage just backed, so we're kind of unsure on whether or not we can push this. We have 10 seconds, 15 seconds until their duo lane is up. We might be able to get in this inhib. I'm going to stun him when he rocks. So as soon as he pulls a rock, I'm going to stun him. Just delay that. It happens. Yep. Again, a really easy Narbash play you can make. We get some good poke on him, but what we don't have is enough damage to kill this inhib right now. Their team respawns. Our call is just run, group up for fangtooth. So you can see my two that backed, my Grux and my Crunch, won that fight in right lane, and it drew them into mid. We're all just going to converge on this fangtooth. This is fangtooth number 3. The enemy could try and trade Prime here, but without their Chimera up and their Countess down for 10 more seconds, they're not going to be able to do it. So this is a pretty risk-free fangtooth. You can see my Grux is going to go zone. I'm going to follow him. We don't want them to be able to 50-50 this at all. So any zone that you can get, especially like my heals are not needed on fangtooth. They're not going to die to it. And my damage doesn't do anything. So I'm going to ult again here. I'm calling knocking up Rampage. Get him, get the stun. He jumps the stun. I lied. I thought I got that stun. He jumps my stun. He gets out. We kill the Revenant. Countess is in a bad spot here, but she ends up making some really good plays here and gets bailed out by a Chimera as well. So that's a really good stasis. She blinks past me. Chimera bails her out. They're free. We still get 1-for-1 on that. We get the fangtooth. That's still a win in my book, as far as I'm concerned. And then Kai goes forward. He shouldn't have left his tier 2 right there. Gets his blink forced for no reason. Our call here is just back, regroup, look for Prime. Just everyone back. We're not going to lazy back. We're all going to run away. No one lazy back, and everyone back, group up, look for Prime. We have a really good team comp again. As soon as you have a Narbash and you're looking around objectives, Narbash is really strong on objective fights. Just really, really good on them. Your team can sort of pull it and fake pull it, like pull it and then drop it and then pull it and then drop it kind of thing over and over, and it doesn't matter. At this point, I finished my Vanguardian as well. I really like this item. I think this item's very underrated. Gives 10 protections to people around you, 10 physical and 10 magical to the people near you. On Narbash, when you have Tainted Totem and healing, having people near you is really good. I wouldn't really, I like Narbash a lot of the time. Like, Faye is maybe really good in Narbash because of you want to group and she wants you to group, that kind of thing. But you have healing, you have the Tainted Totem to boost that healing. Now I'm going to have a Vanguardian, so on top of that healing, now my allies are a tiny bit tankier. Richter gets really caught here. I'm just following up crowd control from my Grux. Again, Richter gets a good ult there. I'm just ulting for the CC. I'm ulting here. This ult is a deterrent. So if I back up, this Richter's super caught out. He's going to jump forward and he's going to ult us, and my Drongo is going to cleanse it and leave. So I know my Drongo has no cleanse. He cleanses, ults out. I know he has no cleanse. I see the Countess and Revenant. My ult is merely a dissuasion. I want them to leave. I don't want them to go on my Drongo. My ult, if the Kai lives, if he has Phoenix, if he gets it off, etc., I'm going to be able to knock him up. But the Countess can't blink in while my ult is going. It's too dangerous. So my ult keeps them off. Countess makes a good play here to go split the wave, try to get the inhib. It's not going to work, but she gives it a go. We are going to lose left inhib to a stacked wave. That stinks. We probably could have backed sooner to be able to defend that, but the call came out too late. It happens. Sometimes you guys sort of win some, lose some sort of thing, and that's what happens here. Is we lose our left inhib. Again, it was a potato inhib. They already took it earlier, so losing it's not the worst thing in the world, but we're able to chase out this countess, and now we're ahead. We just staggered her. She's dead for a minute. So, and you see that call comes out right here. Actually, I believe. We killed this countess.
Have a TP back. Nice.
Okay.
I have to try to save the left there. She doesn't get the right one.
So they're talking about the inhibs.
Yep, we need to make plays right now. We need to push the center.
While they're staggered.
We need either both tier 2s or an inhib.
1-3-1.
Yeah, so there you hear it. So 1-3-1, Countess is dead for 60 seconds is sort of the call. So we're gonna split 1-3-1. If you guys hear that, it means 1 left, 3 mid, 1 right. So you're pushing out those side lanes, getting them grouped up, but you have the big people in mid that they kind of have to worry about. So their dual lane matches up to us in mid. You're going to see the Kai and Rampage right here looking for something. This is why you check those fog walls. He sentry'd that, so he knew he wasn't on a ward. So you got to check those fog walls if you're going to commit to something like this. Otherwise, they fight us there. I don't think we get wiped. Again, stunning Richter when he hooks right there. We're all in here. I'm ulting. So you can see, look how far away I play with my ultimate. I think this is something that people don't realize a lot on Narbash. So I get this hook and I'm following my crunch. He engages. He gets hooked, but he engages. Look how far away I play with my ultimate. I don't want to go into melee range of Richter so that he can silence me. I get the knock up. I miss the thunk. All good. My Drongo comes out of the Shadow Realm after he gets ulted. And this play's really nice. Me and my crunch both make the same play here. Which is get this guy off of our Drongo. Our Drongo ends up tanking this. He got a little bloodthirsty. I body block. That was my only goal. I didn't have a thunk quite yet. I was just trying to body block that guy off of him. It worked. My crunch hits a stun. My Drongo lives. And between Prime and Narbash healing, he's about to be full health. He's going to be full health in like 10 seconds. Right there, I'm blocking a Rampage rock. My call was, I'm eating this rock. You know, that kind of thing. I'm standing in front of Drongo. I don't want him to get picked. Our crunch gets absolutely blown up by that Countess. And then we just call disengage. Disengage, go to Fang is the call here. Run to Fang. Run away. We don't want to fight anymore. Our crunch is gone. A lot of our front line's gone. The Kai makes a weird call here to go in. And he's just, my Grux says, I'm going to dash him. Dashes him out of that. He jumps on our Drongo, dies for it. He's just dead. We should just be grouping up going to Fangtooth. And that's the call here is turn around, sprint to Fangtooth. You want to make calls almost before you win a fight. This is something that a lot of people don't realize, and it's happened a couple times in this game. You saw it on like the first Fangtooth that we got when we made a call, which was basically retreat, go back to base, and we didn't execute it properly. We stayed around too long. We second guessed ourselves a tiny bit, right? And that's what happens a lot. So in that call, that was good. We said turn around, run to Fangtooth, and that's what we did. Here, our call is fight. Our call is kill Revenant, fight them. I get the thunk on him. Again, I'm gonna ult here, and I'm gonna stay really far back. So I'm just ulting this Rampage. He blinks out. Again, that's fine. I got his blink with my ult. Team follows up on him anyway. We still have Prime. We're still gonna be able to get this Fangtooth. This is one of those things where they have to run into us, and we have Prime to get to this Fangtooth. They have to come to us. So when they come to us, we still have Prime. Why not just fight? We don't really need this Fangtooth. It's Fangtooth number 4, but even if we lose it, it's only number 2 for them. Let's just fight them. And because while we're at this advantage. And so the call is to fight. We do fight. We win that fight. Gives us the free Fangtooth anyway. And now we have a 5-3 numbers advantage going into a team with 3 inhibs down. Kai has no Phoenix. He used it last fight. Really easy pick. Now we're 5-2 going into a team with 3 inhibs down. They have one lane pushed out really well in right. But eventually, if we sit around long enough, minions are going to stream into this base. Minions are going to just rush this base. I thunk the ultimate. This Richter ends up getting picked. Really good job from my Grux. Takes a lot of aggro. Again, on Narbash, be the second person in. Let someone else take the aggro and then go in. The call here is to all in core. Just kill the core. Kill the core. Kill the core. We have enough minions here. We have an auto-attacking Grux. We have a Drongo. They don't have enough damage to kill us. Just core, all in the core. This game was, again, it was very even until about the 17, 18 minute mark, right? It was a very even game. And then we had one really good fight on Prime, followed by a pretty good fight on the next Fangtooth, and then we kind of started running away with it. And you can see in our slash lines, I'm 4-1-23, 27 affected kills out of 32. That's, I don't know, quick maths, that's 85% kill participation, something like that. I'm not stealing CS from the team. At some point, this number doesn't matter. I'm still farming pretty well. You can see I'm barely below our solo laner. I'm 1,000 gold behind our carry, and I'm above their whole team. At some point, when you have enough towers and inhibs, you should be above everyone on the enemy team. But this is only a 9,000 gold deficit, 70k to 61k. This is a pretty even game. Like they weren't out of it. Once we get 3 inhibs, really hard to come back. But they're not really like hard losing this game. This isn't a 30k gold deficit at 30 minutes. This is only a 33-minute game. 32 to 18. The game was even at the 20-minute mark, and then we sort of started getting on top of it. You can see the CS is still even, 1,000 to 1,000, 9,000 gold lead. This game was close. We were just kind of able to win some of those team fights, and especially with Narbash. I will say, I think Narbash is pretty broken right now. That healing is just so good. There's nothing they can do against that healing. You'll see, I think I pull it up here before I stop my recording. I healed for, oh no, do I stop my recording? I healed for almost 60,000 healing in this game, which is insane in a 30-minute game. It's not like this was a 60-minute grinder. This was a 30-minute game, and we get 60, you're able to see it's 58,000 player healing from this. This was a really good game. I really like Narbash. If you're going to play him with other tanks. I do think I will substitute this for my Preducation Narbash video. I think this will kind of be that, and maybe if I can get in some more games with these guys, I'll kind of shift some of those games, if you guys like this kind of content, into this retrospective where I just played this game and I thought it was a really good game. We played really well, so I sat down, I recorded over it. This is a new type of video for me, so let me know if you like it. I know it came out a little long. I rambled a little bit throughout it, so hopefully you guys still enjoyed this kind of content. If you did, let me know down below. If you have more questions, leave them in the comments as well. I'm pretty good about answering you guys if you guys have real questions, so I will be there for that. If you want to win support games, pick Narbash when you got tanks. Really good right now. But I think that's all I've got for you guys. Hopefully you guys learned something. This is sort of the first scrim lobby that I've played in, so I really liked it. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm probably the worst player in these lobbies, but one way to get better is to play with people who are obviously better than you. So that's kind of what I'm going for. I think it's working, hopefully a little bit. I feel like I'm getting better. Obviously, I'm kind of exploiting Narbash, but all good. That's all I've got for you guys. So as always, I've been Pinzo. This video is donezo. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.